Welcome, everybody, to our November, I cannot believe it's November already,
Wait, it's
masterclass.
November?
Yes, it is. We are here live with my dear friend, Sarah Angers Campbell. We're going to get into that because I always see your name and I'm like, what is going on here? But Sarah Campbell, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Can we get into my name first?
Yes. Tell,
So,
I'm just reading what's there, and I should
yeah,
update mine because I didn't.
my married name is Campbell, so I've been Sarah Campbell for a very long time. But when I first opened my Facebook, all my friends knew my maiden name, and it was when Facebook was original. It was just like our close friends. So I threw in my maiden name there, so everyone knew, like without any thought process. And the reason, like I'm so happy to have the name Campbell is because I am so not angry. I am like the happiest person you will ever know. So angers does not fit, but I leave it there just for my high school friends.
No, well, and like I know who you are. I'm like, I don't know why I'm so specific about making sure I read people's names, especially when on that, but I'm like, I know who you are, and then that kind of stumped me up. But welcome. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
We're always, when we're thinking of like our guests and who we would want to bring on or who's inspiring, I'm like, how have we never had Sarah Campbell on? Thank you for accepting our November. I know you're very, very busy, and I appreciate
Have
you.
we really never done this?
Never. I don't think so. No, in
We've
all
known
of
each other
our
for
time.
so long.
And I make a habit to not repeat, so I don't like to have too many repeat guests, but I will definitely need to bring you back, I'm sure. But we're gonna get into it, Sarah. Are you excited?
I am excited. I'm ready for your questions. I feel like this is gonna be a good one. We're gonna go deep.
Oh, well, I would love to go deep. I feel like I've known you, I first was introduced to you back, I think in like 2013 I went to a wedding wear conference. I don't know if you remember this in
Oh my
Annapolis.
gosh, I do remember that.
And saw you on stage and I was just like, who is this like larger than life personality? And that's where I first met you.
So funny. I remember that it was a panel discussion.
Yes, it was.
That was so long ago. Yeah, Wedding Wire. That was a whole new world.
Yeah, I know. And so much has changed in the industry, I imagine, in that bit of course. I don't think you had started Intrigue Teaches. So like, can you tell us like what you first started to get into the floral industry and how did you end up on the wedding wire stage like in that moment?
Okay, so kind of just random story. I was one of the first florists ever on Wedding Wire.
Okay.
They started in my local market. I'm in the Maryland, DC, Virginia market, and that's where Wedding Wire started. So I was one of the first florists ever on that platform. Um, and then I had started teaching. Intrigue Teaches didn't exist, but I had started doing workshops in my studio. Um, and the fact that I was on that stage was just kind of random.
Yeah.
Like I think they just asked me because they knew me, and that was what landed me on that stage. But that's so interesting that that's our first connection.
No. Well, I was just jumping in brand new to everything, and of course I knew about wedding wear and the knot, and I saw my best friend lives in DC, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna piggyback and go to that and visit her. But that's where I got pretty much introduced, and I was like, I need to know who you are and more about your business. So I was like making lists and lists of florists at the time because like I need Sarah Campbell knowing about our software. So I coming full circle, here we are. What, 13 years later almost. So
Oh
we
my
just
gosh,
we were just babies, Sarah.
we
Can
were
you believe it?
babies.
So I didn't know a whole lot about you. I know we have gone kind of back and forth and you've dabbled in different softwares and I'm really excited that you've been using details for the last several years and so it's been fun to like get to know you more. Um, but I was like so inspired by your AIFD presentation that you gave last year, where
Thank
you
you.
basically told everybody your story. And I feel like it was just so inspired and really innovative the way you mixed in AI to tell like and paint a picture of where you grew up. So I would love for you to share our audience about what brought you to like get, like it was really, really heartfelt, and I felt like a deep dive into like who you are and what brought you to be. So would you mind sharing like a little bit of,
Sure, sure. So
yeah,
I actually very rarely share my story. Um, and it is a powerful story, but it is so deeply personal. I'm not sure what inspired me to tell that story for AIFD. I I often just let people believe that I've been successful my whole life, and that's the end of the story. And it's an easy thing to do. But there are so many people that do struggle as they're growing up, struggle as they're young. I grew up from not just poverty, not just living off food stamps. Like the government didn't even know we existed. We were so far off the grid.
yeah.
And growing up without things, you dream a lot.
Mm,
And one of the things I dreamed about was living in this lane of life where there could be ball gowns and beautiful flowers and fancy parties. Like Barbie and My Little Pony were my two fixations as a child. And I feel like by telling that story, I was able to, inspire and touch a few people. And there have been times that I've wanted to share it more publicly, but I hesitate. Just internally, I hesitate.
yeah.
So I'm still working on that strength to share
Well, I
that.
thought it was, I mean, what a tough crowd to like be giving up there. I mean, there was probably 700 people in that audience as the keynote. So to me, I felt like everybody is always expecting so much design, but I feel like you've inspired so many countless designers over the last 10 years. I mean, I've seen it, we've all witnessed it. So it's like you're a phenomenon and really the American dream, I have to say. So for you to get out there and vulnerably share, like to me, I found very, very touching. I know I've said this to you before, but it really makes me recognize how hard, when you want that success, what you will do or how hard you'll hustle. And like when you have a baby, which I can identify with, like being a young mom, like that's how most of the women who enter this industry started because they're like, I can do more, I need to do more. So I feel like you have brought that every day. It must make you feel so, so good about teaching people a craft and like watching them go out and be
I
designers.
have, I have to say, the best part of what I do and really what empowers me is just that, is watching this burst of inspiration, encouragement, empowerment you can give to people with, honestly, the designers I teach and work with, they only need a little push.
Mm,
I'm not out there moving mountains because they're already building the legwork, and they
mm,
just need someone to help give them that push. Watching designers that build design firms that run circles around what I have built in my career, which I'm pretty damn proud of, that is incredible. Watching these especially the moms, and I think, guys, I love you too, but it really is the moms that I'm like, yes, it worked. Seeing these women come through that really don't know how they're going to produce an income, don't know how they're going to run a business while raising a family, and being able to help give them some of the guidance, that is huge for
yeah.
me. So I'm really glad that you recognize that.
No, I do wholeheartedly. I feel like we're two peas in a pod. I mean, I feel like we both have hustled so hard, and I feel like we're both probably very strong personalities. I feel like we both come at it with the same amount of energy and really wanting to help people be successful. And at the end of the day, it's like
So
we're
this
better
is news.
together,
I didn't know
Sarah.
that Kareem and I ever butted heads.
Oh no, well, hey. I butt heads with a lot of people apparently, so that's I don't know,
Uh,
but it's a when I feel like leaders inherently are sometimes like that, right? I don't know.
I
Because I feel like we've done some pretty fantastic things, especially the last several months, and just bearing witness to your productions that you're able to put on for your attendees, somewhere 100 plus people is really you've got processes down. Like there's something that's working really right there, and if details is a small part of that, like kudos, but like execution is everything. So can you give us a little snippet into like how you started um, bringing people in to like host them and to teach them how to do these things? Like, what was the first aha moment? Like, I need to do
all
that.
right. Well, let's start with real truth. My first workshop I ever hosted, I sold 0 tickets. Not one person arrived. Not one person signed up to come and teach the come up and learn from me for this workshop. Um, but I didn't give up. I gave the seats away. I hosted the workshop anyway because I'd already ordered the flowers. Uh, and I got to tell you, this was before I was using a floral software and I didn't know what my metrics were, so I'm sure that cost me plenty. But that was my first initial, like I just knew I knew I wanted to teach classes, but I was thinking I wanted to teach classes like having people come in and do a Valentine's arrangement or a Christmas arrangement. This was not the actual plan. But once I started teaching that first class and started talking and sharing publicly, Instagram probably wasn't it? Was Instagram around yet? I don't even remember if Instagram was there or not.
I don't know.
I know
I was
Facebook
only
was there.
posting like what I ate. So, and I still am only posting like what I'm eating. But
So anyway, it was that first workshop that kind of started building chatter. And then I started getting a lot of questions from designers. I didn't expect questions from designers. And that is what kind of launched our first workshop in our studio. In the first couple of years, I just did workshops in my studio. I think it wasn't until 2015 that I actually did something on a larger scale. And with the studio workshops, I taught the things people are asking. I taught how to make a flower wall, which, guys, is a piece of cake, actually. Flower walls are not difficult. It's hard to wrap your head around them. I taught how to make a simple floral chandelier. And then, of course, those big, beautiful, giant centerpieces that make my heart patter. So that was the beginning of it. And I was sharing things online. I had this wonderful little kid right out of high school or college that was working with me. And he says, Sarah, you got to be on video. And I didn't want to be on video because I feel like I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't skinny enough. I wasn't popular enough. I shouldn't be on video. But this little tiny little blonde kid out of school put the video camera up, and that's kind of how it started. So Ken Teckle, thank you very much.
yeah, I mean, you're great. You have such a personality. I feel like you aren't afraid to tackle anything. And I think just giving florists the confidence to like, hey, we can do this. Let's do it together the first time. And it's like teach a man to fish and he can fish his entire life. And I feel like that's what you've basically taught to a lot of these novice florists who were just like afraid, afraid to say yes to that big job because they didn't know how they were going to do the execution. So I think you've made it okay to say yes and like let's practice and you can figure it out and you know
I
you'll
think you
solve it
nailed it.
all.
You nailed it right there. So many people are afraid. And when we get, especially with the Intrigue Across America tour, we focus on luxury wedding design, luxury installations, and large scale centerpieces for that tour. And we get some beginners, but we get mostly designers who've been doing this for years and are just ready to break out. So they know that they've got the skills, but they just can't figure out how to break that kind of ceiling is, I don't know if the ceiling, whatever
Yeah.
breakthrough to get to that next level. So I think that's also why we have so much success. Some designers come through in the beginning stages, which I think is amazing, but most of them they already know the basics. And this just opens up a whole new world. In fact, I got an email, I think it was yesterday, the day before. I get messages almost every single day of my life, which is also very empowering. But this email, she said, she kind of followed just the sales strategy that I was talking about. And the first time she did it, she was so scared. And I remember back to myself, I was scared when I first started to sell the way I sell with these large scale presentations. And not only did she book the client, but she booked the client, I think she said triple what their original budget was. And that's because designers just don't know what their budget is.
Yeah.
And also, one of the things I taught when I was going through that is I talk about how you enter all of your counts into details, into your software before you even pitch for these high-end designs, because that way you can sell with confidence. You can right there go and make edits and changes, still knowing you're going to be profitable.
Yeah.
Because, all right, Kareen, we both started when we were totally guessing. Do you remember years ago when you'd look at
Yeah.
a picture and be like, your wedding is going to be $5,000, and then the
Yeah.
wedding cost you $5,000 and $30 to
Yeah.
produce?
No, and you have to make it look like what you said. As a salesperson, we sell on those feelings. Pull at people's heartstrings. I think we're both really good at that. So at the end of the day, the recipe needs to match the vision. And really, it's such a complicated business. I mean, it really is complicated, and but you need to make money, right? It's not a hobby. It's no
It's
fun.
not a hobby.
It's
It's
not a
too
hobby.
hard work if it's going to be a hobby. Like,
It's
there's too many
so much
buckets to clean.
work. I know. I've come to a few installations and like classes. I'm like, gosh, this is a lot of work doing these workshops. Like I didn't come to work. I came to watch. So that's what I do now. But I know I pick a few hefty guys on like Ace and put him on my team or something. But you just wrapped up you've done Intrigue across America, which I will dig into more, but you have just come back from a whirlwind trip to Ireland. And
Ireland.
yes, how long was the flight, first and foremost? Just let us all know.
Oh, it's not even bad. You got to come next time. I think it was like 6 hours from DC, maybe 7 hours. I
Oh,
don't know. I slept.
that's not that bad. That's like to Miami and back. Okay, I
Yeah.
can handle that.
No, it wasn't, the flight wasn't bad at all. And the best part was that we set this up as a full experience for the designers. So we had 24 florists and 6 photographers. That was our max, our cap sellout. And what I wanted to do was create this environment that not only could the designers learn, but they could connect and network, build these relationships. And the bond you create when you're in an intimate environment in this luxury experience in a new country is something unlike anything. I've had opportunities to do these in the wedding industry in general. And I wanted to bring what happens in the luxury lane of the wedding industry into the flower world. And invite our photographers in that we work with so closely with Style Shoots Across America for the annual tour.
Yeah, I saw a lot of the pictures. That was really exquisite. I thought the charming places that you took excursions to as well to like it fully encompassing. It was like a nice way to like see a foreign country, I'd imagine. And working in a real life castle. I mean, it's not like Disney World here in Orlando. So it's like this is the real thing. Like it's not
Can I
flash.
just tell you, in the room we were at, so I picked the room that was kind of down below everything, I wanted everyone else to be upstairs and have this experience. But it was so grounding and so amazing to like step out of bed with my bare feet onto actual stones
Yeah. You were in
in
the
the
dungeon,
castle.
Sarah.
What'd you say?
I said you were in the dungeon of the castle.
Oh my gosh, was I in the dungeons? All right,
Hey,
you
that
just
means sexy.
completely killed the beautiful fantasy. It was, oh my God, guys, I slept in the dungeon and it wasn't even haunted.
No, I mean it was probably wonderful. I think that that just some of the buildings there are immensely old, so it's like thousands of years. We don't get that same thing. I mean, you're in Maryland, you get a bit of that, but not like Ireland.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So
It is,
how far did the your guests travel? Were they Irish or were they a lot of mixed or was it like people from the States?
it was almost exclusively attendees from the US.
Okay.
And we had one Irish designer.
Okay. Hey, I love that. So when you wrapped that, what was the overall experience like? The feeling of accomplishment, or like, how did you feel after wrapping that? Because this was your first international event.
It was my first international. And first of all, you have to have a great partner. Whenever you're doing anything international or anywhere, you need a great partner. So I partnered with Kay's Flower School, who's out of Dublin.
Yeah.
And when I wrapped it, how I felt was, oh my gosh, let's do it again. There was
They're
definitely
so
a
much
sense
fun.
of achievement, and there was a sense of, oh my gosh, I rented a freaking castle. Like, that's all I kept saying. I rented a freaking castle.
Yeah. No, I love that. I feel like that's so daunting. And as I've loved to be a part of a lot of these events that take place because I'm like just a nice accessory, but to be the one that is planning it where it's all on your shoulders, there's a large, I think, responsibility there to make sure the guests are walking away with like the value and things that you would hope that they would walk away from, So I just appreciate that you do these and invite people to tag along because it's like a lot less pressure.
I have a plan with every event I host, and it is kind of my internal monologue is I want to make people's jaws drop. I want them to walk away because my events are an investment. It's going to run anywhere from 2,000 on the low end to about 7,000 on the high end to attend an Intrigue event. And I want everyone to walk away not only with their jaws dropped, but I also want them to walk away inspired, empowered, and to think, oh my gosh, that was worth every damn penny.
Yeah, no, that's the best thing. I will say this wasn't your first international event because you were on the big flower fight
Yes.
many years ago, which it was like kind of I was like, what? And some of the designs that you did, I was like, that was really great. Some of them I was like, I don't know, Sarah, but that comes with the territory. And so like to put yourself out there on the world stage for open. I feel like that's a lot as an artist, you know? So kudos to like that
Well,
opportunity and like yeah.
let me clarify what I agreed to be on this show. First, I didn't know it was Netflix. I thought it was going to be some little bitty European show. Sorry, Europe, you're not little bitty. Um,
No,
but
yeah.
I didn't think it was like I knew I want to be part of it. Didn't know it was Netflix. And also, I might have read the brief incorrectly because I thought we were going to be designing wedding installations
Yeah.
and bridal bouquets. So somewhere along the ways that those triggers got crossed, and all of a sudden I show up and they're giving me metal and potted plants. Okay, occasionally I might work with potted plants, but I wouldn't build an entire lemur out of potted plants. I wouldn't even build an entire lemur.
I know. I was like, good luck. Like, come on now. Like that is but those guys and the Hank and those people, those characters, they show up for you time and time again, and it's been an absolute treasure and a ball to like get to hang out with them. And you know, that was because of Tampa last year for that I got to meet them. But wow, you've really had a pretty fantastic life, you know, if you think about it. I mean, come on, Sarah. This is crazy. Your Facebook and Instagram too, is you have taken like from a marketing standpoint, you really do a phenomenal job on bringing um
Thank you.
people to the masses. I mean, they're drinking Sarah Kool-Aid. Like, how do
Oh
you
gosh,
do
I
it?
hope
Tell
not.
us know what you're doing. Like, what are you putting in the Kool-Aid?
You know, when you get a bunch of people together who have shared successes and who have been part of each other's success, we just bond. You know, someone asked me once, like, how do you become part of the Intrigue family? I'm like, well, the Facebook group is free, so you can just literally just walk in the door. But what makes us bond is that connection we have with each other. So not only do I teach these workshops and classes, but I encourage these designers to build this network together. So big things happen. You know, I got a call. There was a television series happening that one of the designers was leading, and it brought an entire team together. I got another call that a designer down in Florida got terribly ill on a big wedding, and designers started flying out from all over the country to support her. Another call where actually this was just this week, one of the designers shared that, you know, she took this big wedding. I think it might have been the biggest of her career. I don't quote me on that. And then she found out she was pregnant, and she was at a workshop and she's like, I just don't know what I'm going to do. And one of the designers that is there, she said, I got you,
Yeah.
and produced that wedding for her. Like, brought her team, produced that wedding for her. That's the kind of community. So if you want to know what's a Kool-Aid, it really is a sense of just togetherness. And
Mm,
I'm grateful for that. I feel like in early in my career, I was kind of lonesome.
mm,
And you know, we didn't connect 15 years ago like we connect now.
yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I just made my own friends. I just created a place that would attract people that are going to uplift, inspire, empower, work together. A place that we're not going to pick at each other. We're not going to try to tear each other down. And in the Intrigue community, you know, the group does have over 12,000 members now. If anything negative comes in there, we shut that down real quick because
Yeah.
there are so many other places for it. The Intrigue community is not the place.
Yeah. No, I always am like got my popcorn out whenever anybody gets into those chat groups and starts like going. I don't notice it so much, but early on there was some pretty spicy conversation, I have to say. Now there's like the roast florist group, so you can get in there and bash on people, and it's fun. You choose to be bashed on, so like
Yeah,
that's
if you
fun.
like roasting, go roast somewhere else. We like nurture in our group.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. It's really been fun. And I don't know how I always see whenever anybody's talking about flower software. I don't know if it's the algorithm or something. I'm like, okay, where's all my details, people? I'm like sending out hearts. And I often don't like try to get in there too much because people be like, she's the owner. Of course she's gonna say details. But I'm like, how can
But
I
you
advocate
should.
for
It would
myself?
be
I
silly if
know.
you didn't, right? You
I know,
should be.
right? I'm like,
I love
what
when
the
you're in there.
Oh, thank you. I'll go back more. But it's just amazing what people will ask. And I love that the questions are, there's a lot of new people and they're asking the questions like, and people will call them out. They're like, "Oh, you're new, aren't you?" So, but you have to go somewhere where you feel confident to ask those questions. Otherwise, you're never going to learn, and you might not have seen that post.
Mhm.
That's yeah,
And I think that a lot of new designers, when they come in, they don't even know that floral software exists until we start talking about it. So that is one of the things, and I have been ever since I started using floral software so many years ago. I have not shut up about it. Like I have been on the use floral software. In fact, even in our Intrigue Insiders group, we do some live events, and I require, like, if you're part of this group and you're going to be doing a live event with me, you have to be using floral software because
yeah,
I know that's the only way to be profitable. And it's possible that someone could be so good at being analytical and so good at spreadsheets that yes, there is probably 3 people in the world who could do it, but most of us, we are creatives. We are kind of a hot mess. Like Karina and I may look like we got it together. Trust me, we're disasters. Okay. Sorry, Karina. Maybe you do have it
yeah.
together.
I know,
Um,
no, maybe I'm getting a little better though. But years ago, it's so complicated to do this work. I don't know how people do it and said, "Oh, I got it in my head." I'm like, "No, you don't. No, you
it's
don't."
it
Like,
it is so complicated. So what I really like, I don't know if I've shared with this with you, Kareem, but what I really like about details is there is this feminine edge to it. It is pretty, like a software that is pretty. I don't know why I'm stuck on that, but I really am. And putting the visuals in there, it makes so much sense to my brain.
yeah,
I have used, and I've actually tried most of the softwares just to understand like what the differences are. And I really come back to that visual thing, which I think I didn't even understand until the last couple of years when I started playing with it again. I didn't understand how powerful that visual impact was on my creative process. Just being able to drag and drop the flowers that are in the right colors and styles. When I was working, I use it all throughout tour when
yeah.
we're touring on those back-to-back workshops. But in Ireland, trying to make sure I had the right colors and being able to go into the galleries and seeing what the flowers were and the colors and putting them together, having them in that grid, and then just dropping them in. Not only does it make it easier to use multiples of the same types of flowers, which helps with my overall pricing on my flowers, but also like I can see visually how it's going to look together. When I'm dropping those flowers into the bouquets, I'm like, okay, I got my rose, I got my peony, I got my anemone, and I can see all the colors together. How did I do it before? I can't ever go back. Like, I'm
Well,
so ruined.
I appreciate you saying that. When I was creating the software, I had sent my first iteration of it, I sent it off to India and I just sent my spreadsheets. And when they sent me back the iteration, I was like, it's not pretty. Like people are not going to want to work on this. Like I really was intentional with I have to gamify it. So we drew out every page and made it sure it looked a certain way. And at the end of the day, we are in the business of selling pretty. So if we're working in something that's not visually stimulating, I just feel like it was kind of a disservice to the whole thing. So yes, it took me many versions to get that. So I really appreciate you saying that. Yes, we are pretty. We love to be pretty, but that's what we do. We're in the business of pretty. So why would we want it to be otherwise? So thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
The more I talk to you, the more we kind of are alike. Like we just are.
Well, someone said to me, if your contract isn't beautiful, how can they expect the flowers to be? And it's like, "Bah, I know, like if you're going to hand out something." So I just feel like it's from start to finish, we've tried to make it really visually interesting. And as we continue to grow it, it's definitely top of mind. And it's not always the easiest thing when you're working with developers because they want it functional and then they make it pretty. But I'm like, really, the pretty is the part we need most. So
Yeah. Well, you've done a really good job. I don't know if all of you here are in details, but Oh, everyone here should be in details. It's all
Yeah,
details design. Yeah,
maybe.
okay.
We do invite everybody. Everybody's involved. It's a community, but it is a VIP community. So only the people, if you know, you know, you know.
All right. Well, then they know the like the joy of the drag and drop. And then also when you go over to the cost page and you see, okay, these are all the flowers I want, and this is how much it's gonna cost. You're like, okay, what do I take out now?
Yeah, I mean, easy peasy.
I
So,
don't care how big your budget is. So for the workshops for Intrigue Across America, the average retail budget is going to be between $30,000 and $40,000 for the designs we create
wow.
during the workshop. But almost every time I design it, I come to like a design that's 60,000, almost every time it's $60,000. So my own design, I'm going in there and I'm having to cut off $20,000, $30,000 off a design I want to produce. Uh, this would have been impossible before DT. Impossible. I don't know how I would have done it.
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot, I mean, it's like building a house, in a lot of ways with all the different components. I mean, in the last Intrigue designed, and I still have them. I have two giant, someone gave me their flamingo lunchbox. So I have two
Those are
lunchboxes.
coveted.
I know they're coveted, but they were driving, and so they hear. And I have two daughters, so they might be getting something flamingo for Christmas this year. I had to hold on to them. They've been sitting in my closet, but like the amount of attention to detail that you went through to make sure that every guest had one of everything. I mean, did you go so far as to itemize all those pieces into details? Like I would love to hear if you did, but I'm like, how big do you go when you're doing these planning these events out? Because you had a plan for everything. I feel like it was just so lovely.
So, I've kind of always thought, I was talking about this earlier. I always thought I was lazy and disorganized until I've like gotten older and I'm in my 40s now. And I'm like, I'm not lazy and I'm actually not disorganized.
Yeah.
But those are two things I've always assumed about myself. Um, I'm glad that as adults we learn who we really are. And I I am ashamed to say that I actually had all of those gifting items all on a spreadsheet and never once did I think about putting them to details. Oh my gosh, you've changed my life. You've changed my life.
No.
I'm putting them
Well,
in details now.
hey, I planned in my entire home renovation in details, I have to tell you, when I was doing it. So you can use the details for a lot of different
Oh my
things.
gosh, you've opened up so much. Because honestly, I've only focused on the flower part. I know you have like the rental part in there, but I am so mono track on flowers. It is ridiculous. Uh, I literally, you probably saved me hours of my life just now. Thank you.
Well, hey, well, let's jump into talking before we close out about the US tour, because starting back in January, you're doing the whole Intrigue Across America and going to how many cities are you tackling this next season, Sarah?
So this season we have 7 cities and
Okay.
7 of the most epic. I can't even believe we've been invited into some of these venues. We are at the Swan House in Atlanta. We are at Cross Keys in New York. We are at Notting Hill in Dallas, like the Sherwood Country Club in LA. Like we are at some incredible, incredible places. It blows my mind that this is where we get to bring these designers and they get to learn because like we were talking about earlier, is like as a creative, your brain learns when you're around pretty. My brain learns when I'm around pretty. So I create an environment to teach workshops in an environment that is beautiful. And the venues this year are like the top of beautiful.
I love that. How many people are you going to be hosting at each of these events? And do you cap them depending on the venue, or how do you kind of work it out?
We do cap. It does depend on the venue and the space. So some are capped at 30, some are capped at 20. I think I have one that is capped at like 15, which is the smallest. But they're always small workshops. These aren't the kind of workshops you come that are hundreds or thousands of people. We keep them small, we keep them intimate because I want to make sure I am hands-on with everyone and that they not only get to learn from me, but they get to learn from my freelance team and they get to learn from Jordan, who was on Big Flower Fight with me as well. By having these people there, like the designers are getting more exposure, not only to my team, but the community that's come together, that is like-minded and focused on that luxury lane of weddings. And having the small group will always be that way because it really does make a difference. Even though the business person is me thinks, what if I could sell 100 or 200 or 300? I would totally make more money. But I would lose that community, I'd lose the connection, and I think it would lose the success that designers are seeing in these events.
Yeah, I think that you have a pretty great recipe going on for success when it comes to these. And I love how you tailor each of the experiences with like their unique color palettes, and no two events have ever looked the same or had that kind of same feeling, but they're all that level, that luxury level experience. So I think you're doing something right.
And I think that's why Intrigue and Details gets along so well because we love luxury details.
No, I really do. I mean, that's why I got into this business is because I wanted to work in luxury events. And now we get to help the most fantastic designers in the world execute their design. So it wasn't
Right?
exactly the way that I thought I would get into my career, but I'm definitely feel like I have, you have
Do you
too.
not do you not feel the most proud when you're looking at a designer that is using your software and you're seeing them post these events and do these things, knowing you're this little part in their journey? That's cool.
Yeah, I feel really like it's a pinch me moment whenever I think, but life is tough. And like, as a young person trying to figure it all out, I think that we're all just kind of floating around, just like, where am I going to stick and like find something and getting on that train. So, I'm glad I didn't end up working for like a tire company or something. Like, I'm glad I found my way into the flower industry. And I think most people are because everybody is truly, it's the best people on the planet. And if I found like only the angry people are the ones who aren't doing it right. Like they're kind of miserable and upset with their life, but if they're doing it right, they're happy for the most part because they're working with flowers.
You know, when I first started like my quasi-adult life, we talked a little bit about my background and you mentioned we had our babies when we were young. You know, being 19, dropped out of high school, I tried to like get a little education. So I decided I would go into the medical field because that's what other people in my family did. And I got this like medical assistant certification and I worked maybe 6 months doing it. It was so not me. First of all, I giggle when I'm nervous. Do you want someone who's about to draw your blood to be laughing? No, it was not the career for me. It wasn't until I found weddings and then flowers that I knew, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I want to be living that dream I had as a little girl. And it wasn't wearing scrubs at the hospital, it was twirling around with flowers.
In an apron,
Thank you.
mind you. Yes. I mean,
I
and
do
we
love
were,
my aprons.
I know, I was like, you're like, that's like you're putting on your Sasha Fierce, like your Beyonce. Like when you put this on, you're like, boom, I'm here, I'm Sarah.
So when I travel for tour, I commit to wearing the apron and being in my intrigue character with big smiles, which honestly is my same real character. But the apron just reminds me that I need to be on, I need to be present. And it feels when I take it off, I feel like I've just left work. I've just left the building and I can just melt away from the world.
Yeah, that's so great. I have to comment on this too. Just getting back from Wedding MBA. And I know that you have been a speaker there many times. And you weren't there this year because you were putting on your Intrigue experience in Ireland. But I have to say, in years past, I have never seen so many people when you walk through a crowd for them to like almost like faint, like they were meeting you, like they're lined up down the way. I have never seen anything like it in my life. And I'm like, you have transformed some people. Like to see people weeping when they meet you was like, wow. Like, and I know you, I'm like, hey, Sarah, but when I just feel like that's just so remarkable that people have just grown so favorable of you, I guess, or just like, do you know what I'm saying? It must
It
feel
is
really nice, like
it
because
is such an honor. It is such an honor to be able to be in a position where you are sharing and you're inspiring so many people that there is a line. Like that is incredible.
yeah,
I never could have imagined or dreamed that. Like that definitely was not in the plan. But I know when I see those people that are eager and are ready, like they're going to be in these classes with me. They're going to be able to touch the flowers and produce these designs. You know, in Ireland, we had the designers there, 24 florists with us. They came into the first workshop. I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to show you the easy way to do this. We have 72 centerpieces to make, and we have 20 minutes to make 72 cent. Not only that, 20 minutes to design them and get them on the tables.
Yeah.
And doing stuff like that, these people that are in line, they haven't even wrapped their head around until they're with this group and they see how quickly and easily it can happen. So that to me is like, it is this honor of seeing people that are ready for that breakthrough, and I just got to get to them.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to come next year and we'll have you at our booth and you can do some demonstration or like a fireside chat or
I
something.
would absolutely, Corinne, I am so on team details that I would say anything yes to anything you asked.
Okay, well, I'll take it then. You have the magic touch. All right, so I guess looking ahead, what's next? Like, is there I feel like, is there anything you want to share or no? We got some secrets. I don't know. I know
Ooh.
you always are one, so you're so good at planting seeds. You were like, I know 2 years in advance. I'm like, I can't get on that schedule. Help me get there, Sarah. What are we doing?
All right. So guys, planning in advance is the best thing to save your life. Uh, I always have things down the road. So I know what we're doing all the way up into January of 2028.
What?
And we have some really exciting things that are in the works. So not only do we have, of course, the US tour, which I don't know how long we'll do these US tours. Someone asked, like, do you tour every year? I'm like, well, I've been touring every year since 2018, which is kind of crazy. But I don't know if we'll do it forever. But we are planning to tour. We're touring this year, we're touring next year, and I haven't got past January of 28, so who knows? But we are working in some international destinations, and we're starting to create this kind of merger of the workshops versus the conference you've been part of. So we no longer do the Intrigue Experience Conference, which would be 100+ designers and educators, and it was honestly getting too large, and it was more than I wanted to handle. I really prefer the intimate gatherings. Mm-hmm. So these international retreats, they're really for the designers that have come through multiple workshops over the years and want something different. So we do the hands-on workshop, which is an opportunity to design in other country, learn the destination event process, and be able to experience it. So not only create the designs, but then sit at the table and dine in the castle or in the chateau or wherever it may be.
No, I love that. And I mean, I think it's super great. Especially if you're going to travel and take the expense to go over to a country. Like if someone does one of your conferences, they definitely should piggyback on a few days to explore the country on their own too. So I always make it a habit if I'm exploring a new city to add a few days just to see. If you're going to spend all the money to like get there, you might as well sit and enjoy it for a little while. So
that's a great habit. Can I tell you how many places, especially across the United States, that I have been and done drive-by sightseeing? I should take some note on what you just said.
I know you got to do a decompress somewhere or just visit their spa. You and I are both spa girls. You know how much
we
we
are
love
spa.
spa. I know.
I'm gonna message you offline. I just felt the best spa.
I will take it. Well, thank you. I am going to. Oh yes.
Can I put one more thing? You asked me something and I kind of forgot what we're working on right now because we're doing it right now. We've had a lot of questions about how to produce these destination events and traveling events. So we are working on a free training we're going to do probably in the month of December. We're now locking it in. Doing a training that is just focused on how you work a destination wedding, how you find your local suppliers, how you find your local freelancers, how you pay them, how you organize them, how you make sure your orders are in well in advance and keep them organized, which means you need details, of course. But we are working on that. Don't quote me, it may not be December, but we are working on that to help with those questions about destination events.
Yeah. That was one of the things when I was doing events. Like I loved doing events at my same 4 venues. It kept me busy all year long. I still needed software for that. But when I was asked to like do an event in Savannah, it was like, oh gosh, how am I going to find the staff for this? How am I going to find the vendor? So I feel like it's a very um, informative and inspiring session because I would like to attend that because I think it's just about the confidence of knowing where to go or having a good network. But you could use Details Direct for that, Sarah. We're now shipping boxes anywhere. So I
Actually,
think,
yes. We need to have a conversation about when I was right up in Corinne's DMs as soon as I saw this. I was like, girl, we need to talk. I love this. But I am also one of the busiest humans out there. So if anyone ever has a conversation with me, I'm like, hey, that's really cool. Let's talk. And then you hear nothing from me. It's not personal. It's the fact that it's still in my brain, but there's all these other things with my brain.
I know. Don't get me started on the brain, but I'm right there with you. And we can have a dialogue about it at some point. We're still working on it, just making sure our pricing's right. The shipping cost has obviously been a huge factor, but we're just trying to teach people on how do you need to ship your products logistically? How do you need to get it there? Is FedEx the right option for this? Do you need to like put it on a truck? Do you need to fly it cargo? So I'm really interested to hear what you'll be teaching because I think it's necessary. It's necessary for everybody. And if there's areas to be educated, I'd say why not learn? And then you can teach.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
especially with a lot of these destination events, these are big orders. So there are some designers that may fly to do a wedding of $3,000 or $5,000, but for the most part, when you're dealing with these these weddings that are flying a team out to them, you're looking at a 50,000, 100,000, $250,000 floral budget. These are big numbers, and with those kind of big numbers, you do need to harness your local audience, or your local market, which is kind of what we talk about. So I will let you know when it happens.
Thank you. I look forward to it. All right. So are you ready for the rapid fire portion of our
I'm
interview here?
so bad at rapid fire. This is gonna be this never goes well. Let's try.
All right. Your favorite word in another language.
Oh, that's easy. Spasiba.
And what does it mean?
Spasiba. It means thank you in Russian.
Oh, all right. Next time I go to Russia, I'll remember that.
Spasiba.
It's spicy, Sarah.
In fact, it is well, it's not my wedding ring, but my husband's wedding ring engraved on the inside. It says Spasiba.
Oh, all right. Well, I will make sure to look that when next time I see Kenny, I will say, "Let me see your ring."
Yeah.
Um, what is your drink of choice?
Oh, okay. See, I'm so bad at rapid fire because all these things. I'm like, oh, I like this and I like this and I like this. Okay, my drink of choice depends on my location. Terrible rapid fire. If I'm in a sunny beach location, it is an orange crush, but only an orange crush in a destination that knows how to make an orange crush, which is proper fresh hand squeezed orange juice. If I'm not in that location, my drink of choice is, oh my gosh, I had it last night. It's a red wine with a little effervescence. I can't remember. It's Italian wine. It's cheap as anything. Lambrusco. Lambrusco is my, my wine of choice.
Wonderful. Mwah. What is your favorite flower?
Oh, see, rapid fire. All these flowers in my head. Guys, I love a peony, but I also love a hydrangea, especially the Dutch hydrangea, the big, crunchy, not crunchy, but solid ones. And oh, roses. Oh my gosh. And have you seen the garden spray roses? These things are going to take over the industry. These are spray roses with heads like this. They're fluffy with lots of petals. Yeah, I'm upset. I think garden spray roses might be my favorite right now. Was I supposed to give one answer?
I can never do it either. I'm a florist. I'm in the flower industry. How can I pick just one? It just depends. My mood. I'm feeling very moody ranunculus right now. No. What's one item that you can't leave home without?
Okay, you want to see it? I can actually show you. I bring this thing everywhere. Um, it kind of looks a little weird, but I promise it's not. Can you see it? Hold on. Oh wait, hold on. What
Yeah.
do I do with my camera?
Is it your phone
There.
stand?
It's my phone stand. It's my tripod. And
Oh,
I
it
bring
wraps
this.
around things.
Yes, it wraps around things. It's what I'm using right now to be on this call with you. I bring my phone stand everywhere, and I bring my Meta glasses everywhere.
Really? You have the Meta glasses. You record people when you're talking to them?
Very rarely do I record people when I talk to them, but if you're in a place where there are lots of flowers and there's people and you need to engage, and I always want to make sure I'm engaged, um, you can talk to people and then look over at the flowers, record the flowers, be right back to the conversation.
That is amazing. I bought some for my son and he was like freaked out to wear them because he didn't want people like feeling like he was recording them, but you don't even notice it, I'm sure. Okay.
No, no, you don't even notice. But if you ever see me in black frame glasses, and I look like maybe I'm not paying attention, it's because flowers are really pretty behind you and I'm no longer listening.
It's great. Summer, winter, spring, or fall, what is your favorite season?
Oh, I think I'm a summer. I like to sit by the pool, although I also like the spring when the world wakes up. But I am a sit by the pool, put on the spa music, float kind of person. I also have made it my goal in life that I can take most of the summers off to be with my family and enjoy. It doesn't always happen. They claim that I work a lot, but I take more time off in the summer now than I ever have in my entire career.
And you are a first-time grandmother,
I
just
am.
and your daughter, I think, is she pregnant again? Yes.
Yes. So I have a granddaughter named Claire, who is literally the most amazing human in the world. And then my daughter is expecting her second in February, and she's having a little boy named Connor.
That's so wonderful. Oh, I love it. All
Yeah,
right.
being grandma's like, oh, Kareen, when the time is right, it is the coolest adventure of your life. Like, way more fun than being a mom because I love my kids. I love being a mom, but it was so damn hard. Grandma is not so damn hard.
No. And take them. Take them now. Yes, no. Yes, I'm looking forward to it, but not that much. Like, not yet. Do you hear me, kids? I know you're all watching. Um, Morning or evening? What's your pleasure?
Definitely morning. Morning. My brain taps out by about 3 o'clock every day. Sometimes I can make it to 4, but I am sharp. Like if you ever want to call, like let's do it at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. I'm so much better in the morning than in the evening.
Noted. What's a hobby you've always wanted to try, but you haven't yet?
Oh, so it's very rare that something I haven't. Okay, paragliding.
No.
I
No.
want to paraglide. Yes. I try everything everywhere. And I was in Switzerland in September with my husband, and I saw these people like in the mountains. I don't remember what are the mountains? Are they the Alps, the Swiss Alps? Within the mountains, watching these paragliders come down. I want to paraglide. I've done so many incredible things in my life, but I want to paraglide somewhere in the mountains.
Yes, I think I saw that, and I think I was the one writing, no, no, no. I was like not allowing you to jump off the side of a mountain in a paragliding. I don't
It
know.
was funny. A couple years ago, I decided I wanted to surf because I always wanted to learn to surf and just never had the opportunity. So I planned this trip to Hawaii and I told everyone I was going to go surf. But I'm also like, I'm round and jolly. And as I was telling people that I'm going to learn to surf, they were so, oh, that's so nice. You know, if you can't do it, it's okay. I'm like, what are they talking about? Can't do it, it's okay. Like, guys, you literally can do anything. Like, you may have to work for it and try hard, but you literally can do anything. So who wants to go paragliding? Because clearly Kareem's not coming.
I'm very fragile. I know that about myself. So I easily break.
All right,
So,
maybe we'll go surfing instead.
okay. Yeah, I like the water landing. Um, are you more of a thinker or a doer? Are you a dreamer or a doer?
I am both.
Dreamer. Yeah. Yeah.
I am both. I definitely am a dreamer. I definitely think through things in so many layers. I explain my brain as kind of all these different like file cabinets with all this different information. And sometimes I have to put things away and pull them out and I'm always layering my thoughts, but I don't just keep them in their tidy little cabinets. I put them into action and I will jump to do something before I know how it's going to happen, which is scary.
A word to the wise. I mean, I feel like that's what every successful person does. So kudos. Um,
Thanks.
you've been a lot of places around the world, around the United States. What is a place you'd most like to travel not working?
Oh, not working?
Yeah.
Wait, I don't even understand that. Okay. My favorite place in the entire world. Oh gosh, I have a couple of favorite places, but the one place my husband just walked in and he knows the one place that we go back to over and over again is in Bermuda. It's this little tiny cove, and I wouldn't have remembered the name of it had he not just walked in here, but it's called Jobson's Cove in Bermuda. And it is this cove that is just completely enclosed with this little bit of water that comes in. You feel the tides and you can walk. And I call it a beach crawl. When we go to Bermuda, we do a beach crawl. You can walk through all these little beaches and coves all the way up to Elbow Beach, which is is it called Elbow Beach? No, the Horseshoe Beach. And it's got the pink sand and it's so beautiful. So anywhere in the world, if I could go, would be to Jobson's Cove in Bermuda.
Oh, you heard it here. What is for dinner tonight, Kenny?
Oh, Kenny, what
If
is
it was up to me, it would be tacos.
so my husband does love tacos.
Hey,
I can make
Taco
tacos and
Tuesday.
be happy. But
Um,
let's really talk about what's for dinner tonight. So we have this call now, and then at 7 o'clock, I actually have a training with some of the intrigue designers. So we have a short window, and we're here at the hotel, so it's probably room service.
okay. Yeah, fair enough. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I don't karaoke, but I cheer everyone else on. I don't karaoke. I can, and if I drink a little, I might, but I wouldn't say that I ever would have a go-to.
What's your hidden talent?
Do I have a hidden talent? I'm so public and open. Anything I do, everyone knows. Marketing. Marketing is my hidden talent. That is actually my passion. In fact, if you're listening and you feel like you are the best designer in the world and you wonder why you haven't gotten opportunities and why nobody knows your name, it has everything to do with your marketing and nothing to do with your design skill. So the power of marketing behind anything, and I'm not for hire. I don't do up people's marketing. But if I ever am for hire, everyone should just hire me because I'm actually really good at that. That's not my ego talking. That is legit. I'm a good florist, but I'm a damn good marketer.
I believe you. What's a song that always puts you in a good mood?
Oh, are you ready? You want me to sing it?
Yeah, let's see your karaoke.
Tenny, do you know what the song is?
Smile.
Smile while you work. Ya da 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 da.
I love it. What is your favorite dance move, and will you show us?
Oh, yes, yes. All right, I may not karaoke, but I can dance. Now, the dance moves depend on the moment. So it depends on what I'm doing as far as what I dance, but everything's got a dance move. So today I'm going to teach you the moss. Now, if I'm working on a floral wall, right, and I got some moss up there, you're going to take one hand, you're going to place the moss. Take the other hand, you're going to place the moss, and you're going to kind of twist the hips so you get the right placement in the moss, in the moss, in the moss, in the moss. There you go. Today, it's the moss. I've got more though. We've got a pelican, I've got a dolphin, like I have got dance moves.
I love it.
Oh, I could do that was the sprinkler. Yep. Oh,
Yeah, I got him all down.
I do love a good dance floor. At any party, you can always find me on the dance floor.
You would notice we're both 80s babies here. Like we learned all of our dance moves, I think, from the same Muppets or something.
Yep, the same Muppet. I love the Muppets.
What's the most unusual flower you've ever seen?
Oh gosh, unusual flower. Oh, you know what? I think it's actually not that uncommon, but the most unusual flower is the passion flower to me.
Hmm.
You know, it is such a short life. It opens so quick. And then I found when I was over in Europe, in England specifically, that there's passion vine growing all over the place. And it feels like this pop of this tropical flower, but you're in England.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely the most unusual. And one of my favorites that I always forget to talk about.
Oh, I love it. Okay, last question. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and how would you
Oh,
use it?
Superpower. Okay. Flying would be really fun. And I think my apron could really do good flying through the air, but it wouldn't be flying. I think my superpower would probably be to look into the future. It would be so great to be able to look out 5 years and think, does all this work I'm doing right now actually matter? Like that would be great. Because now I can look back 5 years and I can see, oh my gosh, that work I did actually mattered. Because look what these designers are doing. So as we're working on new things, it would be great to see how much it could help our industry and help florists 5 years out, 10 years out.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the power of dreaming, right? Because dreaming is the future and you can have to visualize it first. But I love that you created that visual of like looking backwards, and we should always look backwards to see where we came from, but like project into the future where you want to go. So
Yeah.
thank you, Sarah. Thanks for being our guest. I enjoyed talking to you, getting to know you a little bit more. And I'm just really excited to be a part of the Intrigue experience, the Intrigue Teaches workshop in the future. And thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing for details in the industry and just for being you.
And Karina, I know I say this all the time, but I'm so grateful to have the support of details. Like it feels complimentary, it feels powerful. I love to share how much you don't only support Intrigue, you support so many designers across the floral industry. Like that commitment to uplifting our community, uplifting our industry, that is huge. And that is somewhere that we definitely connect on. So thank you. And I probably will thank you again and again and again.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we love to support education and we just love to be a supporting role and however we can. And I really think people appreciate education and those who are enthusiastic to teach it. You know, you have to have a special skill to do that. So you definitely have it.
Oh, good. So as we were talking, we kind of mentioned wedding MBA, and my brain in one of these file cabinets started thinking about like what we could do and how we could. Yeah, I have ideas. I have ideas. I think we can do something really fun at Wedding MBA that I haven't seen done, but maybe it has been done and I just haven't seen it.
Oh, well, I'm always open to new ideas. If anybody wants to reach out to you, how can they get in contact, Sarah? I know you
It,
probably have hundreds of people answering your emails, but uh, they want
Instagram is probably honestly the best way because to this day, I am my voice on Instagram. So interactions, like although we do have some people that help me kind of cut through some of the clutter, I am the primary one on Instagram. So if you're ever trying to connect with me, that is going to be the best place. I'm probably going to push you back over to the Intrigue Facebook group because it's a lot easier to keep everyone connected. But if you're looking for that initial connection, Instagram is always going to be the best place.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm just really fortunate to gotten to know you better. So thank you for doing this and for sharing and
Thank you.
letting us dig deep. So glad to have it. Florida Man says hello.
Hi, Florida Man.
Yeah, no, that's great. All right. Well, thank you, Sarah. And thanks everybody for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.